Show.
We are live. Yep, it's going to take a few minutes because it doesn't go live right away.
I mean, it looks like it's going live now.
Yeah, it is, but for other people. Okay, it should be going live now. Loading. Hello everyone, welcome to the Tootie Show. I am with Jvicous right now for his interview. It's Sunday, January 29th. Almost said February for a minute. January 29th. So we're going to be discussing about the album release, The Greatest Hits. Greatest High. Oh my god, I'm trying to read and look at that at the same time. The album released The Greatest High. So right now we have the beat maker. How do you pronounce his name? Young who?
Troubadour.
Say that again.
Troubadour.
Troubadour and Jake.
Troubadour. Troubadour.
I cannot pronounce names. Troubadour. Okay. Just say Young something or other.
And Jake Angel Beats.
Yes, I got that part. I know how to say Jake Angel Beats. I know that part. And so far we have Fields, Homegrown featuring Big Buck Breezy, The Greatest High featuring Holly A, Back Roads featuring Holly A, Back at Home, Take Me Home, Crying in the Rain, Crickets, Good Old Days, and In the Small Town. Correct? Did I miss anything?
Well, In a Small Town is actually part of the next album.
Oh, but it's still, is it part of the next album?
It's part of the next one.
Oh, alright. Well, okay, mine is In the Small Town is the next album. Well, it was listed on there. Okay. Other songs that he has in albums is Love and Hate, October 2002.
2022.
2022. My God, I can't read and pronounce. I'm so tired too. It's been a long night. And on that one, you have 12 songs altogether. And to name a few, you have Love and Hate, Never Riding Solo. My Home is also In This Country, featuring Woodworth.
Get that box on there.
Back Home, featuring Holly A. and Woodworth. And then, what did you say? Get That Buck is not on there?
No. I don't know all that coming from. Like, In This Country's in there.
Yeah, In This Country's on there. Yeah, because I know I copied it from there. I think maybe In the Buck is another 25 singles you have out. You have 25 other singles out other than the two albums.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I counted. I made sure. But some of those 25 singles that he has out is also part of the albums.
I'll just repeat, yeah.
Yeah, it probably just repeats. And you are featured with SH3.
That's
She? Right? She?
Yep. And that's in Changes. And that's actually part of the mixtape.
Yep, okay. And then how do you say his other name? Is it MS? Monsta?
It's Montana.
Montana, that's what I thought it was.
Hoskins.
No, that's what I have. I have Hoskins and then Holly A, which is your wife. And then Woodworth, and then Russ and Big Buck Beezy, and then I have no idea how to pronounce the other name. Nerf?
It's Nephew.
This is going to be an interesting interview because I have no idea how to pronounce some of these names. And the only song that I know of that you actually featured on is with What They're Saying by Woodworth. Are you featured on any other songs from other people?
On this album?
No. And total. In your music career, have you ever featured...
Yeah, Montana.
No, I know that. I have that listed on here, but...
No, that'll be all.
Okay, so you only... the song, because the song What They're Saying is made by Woodworth, right? And you're featured on it.
No, that's actually made by Montana.
Oh, that's actually made by Montana. Okay.
It's Antonio Hoskins' song, but me and Woodworth is featured on it.
Okay. That I did not know. That was something different. I learned something new today, guys.
The only song of mine that Montana featured on with me was Reckless. all the rest of them are technically his songs.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I did not know
All
that.
the rest of them that I did with others.
So far, you got 10 followers on Spotify, and the number one hits are In This Country, Get That Buck, Backwoods, Crickets, and Good Old Days. If you didn't know that, I got that information. Alright, so here comes the interview. Gotta go back. Let's talk about Jvicous. Questions. Tell me about yourself.
I guess it's kind of hard to explain. Well, I guess to start with, I'm married with 4 kids. I did go to school in Green Bay. Got kicked out, expelled, whatever, and went to an alternative school. I guess what got me started in the music industry. In music?
Yeah, that's one of the questions. Okay, so how did you get involved in doing music, and how long have you been doing music? How old did you start?
The original date, year I started was like 2012. Believe it or not, originally I was rapping in the studio with Bloody Ruckus, Writting Green Bay. I'm not going to say too much info about that. It's kind of just an old day thing.
Okay. Where did you find your inspiration for music?
Where? Or who?
Yeah. Where?
I guess my biggest inspiration, what inspired me to do it, but where? I don't understand that question, honestly.
Is there a special way that inspires you to make music? Where?
Oh.
You have a special place? Like...
Oh yeah, I mean, I just write lyrics down from my heart, and then it's mostly when me and my wife's get into it, or I guess, or mainly just responding to a lot of things. I haven't done much performances with diss tracks because that I've done, and I do have a diss track called Tootie Haters, and that's actually to Nick Cannon, some of my old friends. Not many people actually know that, and I think I realized last night after performing I am going to do that from now on, just to let everybody know exactly where the fuck I'm coming from for once.
Alright.
And whether you guys like it or not, you can go fuck yourselves. That's how that's going to go.
Alright, so who is your biggest inspiration on you and inspired you? Now that's different from the last question.
Who inspired me to keep going or start?
Both. Who inspired you the most? Who is your biggest inspiration? Like mine is Overtime. So who is yours?
You want me the honesty?
Amongst a lot of other people who inspired me.
Obviously, what made me start rapping is the split up between me and my wife. But who inspired me to start into music, this is kind of an odd thing because, I mean, the music he does is definitely not what I do. He does way better in my eyes. But the first person who actually inspired me to do music was Bloody Ruckus.
Okay.
And Brad White. These are some actually old 9-year-old rappers that one doesn't get to perform right now, and I was hoping to have them actually headline at the album release. But there's problems around that I will not speak on.
Okay. Where have you gone so far to travel to perform, and is there any other plans on traveling, like on tour in the future?
I think the furthest I've traveled was so far I would say is Chippewa Falls, and that's where I met Big Buck Beasley and opened up for Big Murph and Big Buck. It was just us three. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not trying to be an ass to all the other shows I've done, but Dan, I do not remember your last name, but he's the one that brought me to where I really belong in music. Yes, I do country rap, and that's where I felt I fit the most, was with Big Buck Beasley and Big Murph at that show. That's why I had the funnest time. Surprisingly, there was only 3 of us artists, but it was still probably the best time. besides the show also that I did with Big Buck Beezy, right in Portage, Wisconsin, opened up for him. I'd have to say that's like the second best show I've done. I mean, a lot of people will say, oh, you need a headliner, like a famous headliner to see your that you're opening for, because that's who you're performing. Man, you ain't performing for a fucking artist, man. And it was fucked up, and I'm sorry to say this to a lot of the artists out there, but you guys want to go to do these shows and open up for these bigger artists, but yet you guys sit there and rap about how you want to be on top, about you're on top. Dude, that's not a good, like, you're a contradicting motherfucker, because, like, how the hell are you going to sit there and say you're on top, but you're pretty much crying your soul out to the person you're opening for? Man, I don't know how to help with that. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know the story. That's on you guys. I mean, that's all I got to speak on about that, but I'm just saying.
Big Buck Beezy is the shit. I love Big Buck Beezy.
Yeah.
For a lot of people that don't know, he used to be Young Beezy, but he changed his name to Big Buck Beezy.
And
he's awesome.
I'm not trying to honestly not trying to be an ass to anybody else in Wisconsin, but if you really want to know who I think is going to put Wisconsin on the map, it's definitely going to be him. He's already on the road with Tootie at Just in Time. If you don't even know who that is, well then,
yeah,
you might want to just give up on listening to country rap, because he is the one who creates the redneck wave. He also done music with Upchurch, Adam Calhoun, pretty much the king of country rap.
Yeah, he sure is. All right. So do you plan on doing any traveling to, like, tours or anything in the future?
Yes, I actually plan on talking with Beezy more about doing some of the raves with Tootie at Just in Time, getting more stuff done with Beezy. I'm just having a financial hardship in life right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kind of trying to catch up with life.
Me too. I hear you on that. Definitely hear you on that one. And so tell us a funny story that happened to you in your music career so far.
A funny story?
Yeah, just lighten up. Be funny. Like, what is the funniest thing that happened to you so far in your music career? Anything funny that happened to you at a show, an event, or when you were making music or something?
I'm not really, I'd have to really think about that one.
Alright, well, we have to come back to that one.
Yeah.
What special message do you want to tell your fans?
I guess when I say this, I mean, I know this is kind of a relative to Woodworth, and if you guys don't know Woodworth, he's kind of like a brother. He is my brother, I say. He did in this country with me. He made a thing called Less Drum, More Bass. My stuff is almost like that. Well, I live on love and hate, and my biggest message is to live on love and grave all the hate. So, what I'm pretty much saying by that is, back then, people want to say like, oh, they want all this fighting and stuff. Well, that's why I say live on love, grave the hate. I mean, you gotta love everyone. It doesn't matter if you don't agree with them or whatever. That's why they say if you ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing. Well, there it is. I'm going to study that right now. If you don't like the way they're going to change the subject. Doesn't mean you got to hate the person. Just change the subject, right? Let the hate go. That's why I said grave the hate, and let it behind you. Why I say it kind of relates to less drama, more bass is another way I put it is, I mean, everybody sings about music like, oh, they want to, like, oh, there's demons in their mind, la da da. Well, listen to your heart then. That's love. This is hate.
I love that.
Less drama, more bass. All bass beats. Your heart beats. Your fucking drama runs right through your fucking mind. And that's why, I don't know if Woodworth ever told you this, but that's why I look at less drama, more bass also. And honestly, right now, I am inspired by Woodworth to keep doing music because he also pushes me to keep playing it.
So he's your inspiration.
Yes.
Yes. So you the question once before. Don't worry, he's my inspiration too. Don't feel bad. Where?
Also NF is. I love NF specifically because I was raised as a Christian. Everybody says there's a lot of people that's better than NF. Anybody can swear in a damn song. Anybody can. Anybody can be like, go hard and swear like a motherfucker. Because, that's what Eminem does. Alright? You guys are pretty much riding Eminem's coattail by doing that. Alright? Because you guys are nothing different. That's why Eminem's going to always be on top of you guys. But, you got NF. He is sitting up, in my eyes, he can be up there with Eminem. Why? Because he can do what Eminem does without throwing all these F-bombs, any bombs. He will sing a song. He's never sworn any of his music. And that's why I'm inspired by NF. Like, when you guys can do a whole album without swearing, you let me know.
That's actually pretty unique. That's actually really cool, though.
That's true, too.
It is true. Yeah, it is really freaking true. It is.
NF is I think NF is probably the first famous artist that's actually gone his whole career without swearing in any of his music. And he has multiple albums out. If you really think about it. Everybody knows NF, and I'm gonna guess
not everybody.
Everybody's gonna know NF based off the one song at least Let You Down or Let Me Down. It's one of those.
Alright.
It was all over the radio for a good 4 years.
Alright.
Still plays.
What do you want to accomplish in your music career?
Honestly, when I first started, I wasn't really interested in becoming something so big in music. I love all the fans, and I'm happy you guys want me to keep going. But my original reason to do music was to express my feelings to my wife, and then to the people that wanted to hate on me, and I was just responding to it. And I guess now my biggest accomplishment, if I got to keep going in music, I want to be able to accomplish being able to have more people come to these shows, to local shows, to support the locals, and help us all make a living. Because a lot of these artists put in a lot of their time. I'm gonna shout out another rapper that I know. You can ask anybody, you can look at my phone, I'd be glad to show you. Snapback Nate calls me about 3 times a day, alright? If you want to know someone that I believe is probably so much into music in Wisconsin, it's definitely Snapback Nate. The guy doesn't ever give up. If he's not working, he's in front of his microphone. That's it. That's another person I really believe everybody should be following. Especially in the hip hop and the rap industry out here, I believe Snapback Nate is definitely, in my eyes, putting one of the most work. Also, Billy Bars. If you wanna listen to stuff like I can't believe I forgot his name. Who's that emo rapper that died? It's not. I think it's Pete, right? The one that Erickson's funny.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I can't. His name is on the tip of my tongue too. I can't think of the name.
Let me just check.
But I know who you're talking about.
No. I think it is Lil Peep. Yeah. So, if you guys want to listen to music like Lil Peep, I would definitely go listen to Scumblood, and Sorrow Forever.
Scumlord is the shit too.
Yes. When I first started doing shows in Wisconsin with Reed, see, this is what I'm saying. Everybody goes to a show expecting, I want to create a fan base. Get along with the headliner. When I went to my first show at Reed, I got to open up to someone that actually got to rap at Eminem. I said hello to him, But the one person I was the most interested in actually listening to was Scumlord, because I felt a connection. Because I don't sing about a lot of the stuff that Scum and them do, but I relate so much to them because I grew up on taking Adderall. I abused Adderall growing up, but I don't like to talk about all that stuff because, I mean, that's some deep down stuff that got me into, I mean, everybody talking about demons, but like, I've actually thought about suicide, homicide. I think about some stupid shit, and if you guys actually want to hear about some of the stupid shit I think about, this is why you'll see where my inspiration, why I say Bloody Records inspired me, where it comes out when I did For My Queen. Like, I'm legitimately sitting there talking about chopping people up like the deer, a hog. That's some Bloody Record stuff, and that's actually stuff that runs through my mind, and that's why I don't like to go so much and back into my usage days like that. But
Yeah.
that's why I like Scumlord and Sorrow, because they are able to do the stuff, I mean, that I don't want to do, but I relate to them, and I love their music so much. And Scumlord was the first, he was there, so that was the person I mainly was interested in watching that night, and since then I talk to him a lot now.
Oh. Yeah, he is a pretty good, cool dude.
Yeah, and if there's any opening, like, new artists out there, I definitely say you should hit up Scumlord, because, I mean, he respects all music, and he also has his own studio, and he's definitely out there to help you guys also. If you guys need another studio person, definitely hit up Hector Briggs.
Oh yeah, he does the recording and the masterpiece of the mixing and stuff. Yeah. That's awesome. I love Hector Briggs. All right, so next one is, I think you already talked some of it about it, but we all have ups and downs. What are yours so far in your music career? Okay, so a few weeks ago, I mean, you don't have to talk about it, all of it, but a few weeks ago you said you weren't going to do music anymore, but now you are back. So what's your ups and downs? Like, we all go through them.
Honestly, my ups was originally starting the Greatest High album, Love and Hate, starting to release all that stuff out. And that's exactly why I say I look up to Woodworth, because he's the one that's shown me the way to a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. I think he really knows his stuff a lot about music. I mean,
yeah, he does.
I really wish that he would have kept going doing music, because I mean, I've told him once, but I mean, if anybody wants to hear it, I believe that all of his music was really great back then, and I don't think he should have ever quit his music at all. I mean, I understand he loves DJing, but and I understand, like, it's busy. I mean, life's really busy, and, like, he has a full-time job, and so do I. But I think he could have had a nice career doing DJing and rapping, because he knows so much about music, it's crazy.
He does. He knows a lot about music.
And he respects all genres.
He does. He does. He knows a lot about music, too. Teaching me too in certain aspects too. Sometimes I don't always listen, but I try to.
And then to finish that question, I did make a live obviously before I made that song. The last song I made, wish I remember that song. Oh, A Whole Nother Back Road. I actually wrote, and I didn't even write it. I actually originally started singing that song while out plowing at that last snowstorm. It's kind of a crazy story. I don't know if you heard the last time, but I was working at Steel King overnights, and that's why I legitimately said I'm trying to come back to the light. All I've ever known was working 10 hours at night, coming home and sleeping all day, and I lost me and who I am supposed to be in life because of it. So was it like 2 Thursdays ago? I finally, I don't know, something happened at work, and then they let me go. I went outside, even with all the snow that was there, there was nobody that was out there plowing their driveway. I went outside, plowed their driveway, good 40% of it. They can help everybody out of that driveway, because I mean, we're talking like 8 inches of snow we had. I remember that morning. Got off at work. I didn't even get home until about 11 o'clock the next morning, because I was out doing other stuff also, like plowing, helping neighbors, plowing their stuff, And at that point, like, I wanted to give up, because like I I didn't have really I had to make sure I focus on my financial life first, take care of me and my family. And I was thinking about making that whole nother backward the last song I do, but obviously I think I should keep going because there's a lot of people that actually do respect my music. And I love you guys, and I appreciate that you guys actually there for me.
So pretty much what you're saying is the downs, or it's because of financial. And I get that, because I'm running in the same problem too. Like, I'm carless, so I'm trying to get the car so I can support you and go to shows and everything. And it's hard. It's hard when you don't have transportation on fucking wheels. I'm telling you, it's freaking hard. And I get the financial part. I get it. Those are always going to be the toughest part of trying to build your career, but it's tough. I get it. And then my thing is, you get the people sometimes. Those are my downs. Oh my God. You get people like trying to bring you down, so it gets, and that's the toughest part for me too. Like, that was, so I get that.
I mean, I get a lot of people that's out there that tell me, like, oh, I could be doing better. I mean, on performances. Well, honestly, like last night, I did get a comment saying that I should be getting more interactive with the crowd. I do believe that, but I'm not gonna hop around like I'm in a fucking jungle. No offense. I'm just saying, I did country music. If you go to a country concert and you tell me what country singer is sitting there smacking their head or going like this, la da da, you're not gonna find much. I mean, country is relaxed music, and that's exactly what I did last night. If more people follow me, I do offering. You can even ask Tootie. I asked her what songs she thought I should perform last night. I do a different mix of music. I do hip hop, country rap. I consider myself as country rap because most stuff I talk about is definitely about the country life. So, if you guys want to hear me doing more stuff, you can just always just let me know. Just go check me out. You can Google me. Just JV, it's spelled JVICOUS. You'll see me on iTunes, Spotify, all the platforms. I release my stuff through DistroKid, so I'm sure you even see me on TikTok, Instagram, all of it. So if you want to follow, listen to some of my music. Let me know what you guys want to hear me perform. I'll be happy to do it for you guys.
Everybody has their own performing styles.
Yep.
Not everyone is going to be,
and then the last show I did with Reed also, I did definitely a mixture of stuff. And I felt, the Greatest High song, I definitely agree that we could be working more on that. But that is a song that's really deep between me and my wife. And that's actually to inspire other lovers because, in my eyes, love beats everything, and that's why I say it's the greatest high. Where does 90% of this world run to when they have problems with anxiety, with with just any demons? Where do they run to? They want to roll that up and smoke it. That gets you a high. Going to a drug, that gets you a high. Well, and you guys,
or the drink.
Yes, and this is why another reason why I wrote the song. And why Live to Love, Grave to Hate goes on with this is so many people run to all these drugs and everything and talk about hard life and stuff. You see, I understand I have a financial situation, but I guess that's also my fault because I am very highly skilled in concrete construction. And for some reason, I'm allowing myself I'm holding myself back from going back there because everybody's seen my big black truck that's all over my Facebook. And then I get people that tell me, oh, they want something like that. Well, I don't sit there talk too much about talking about money and lot of that. I went out there working my ass off out in the fields, in the construction field. There's times I was doing concrete work, woke up at 3 a.m., didn't get to go home until 11 at night the next night. That's putting in work. There's just a lot. There's something that happened that just lot made me like leave my last construction job, but I think I'm starting to realize it's where I belong. And why I say that, where it's where I belong, because everybody knows back at home the song I did. Everybody does. And legitimately says in there, we stay concrete strong. Well, the reason why I say concrete strong is not only because that's what I mainly know, and specifically because that's how we were actually raised. Me and my brothers and sisters wouldn't have anything if my stepdad wasn't in concrete. He's a mechanic for a concrete mixing company, but doing that concrete field of work, none of us would actually have what we have today. Like, that's how he took care of all of us. And he put in long hours, and for some reason, that's why I say he's stuck in the steels, because, and I'm talking about steel chemistry, because it's always, he comes home and he's usually go right back in the garage. It's just, he feels like he has to work even more. And that's why, originally, that is actually the reason why I put in my time to learn concrete, because then I can help him, because he also started his own concrete business back then. And that's why I learned. And I did a concrete business for a good year. That went down for a case that I caught with my cousin. I ain't going to speak too much on that. But yeah, there's a lot of ups and downs I've had in life, but I mean, I can keep going.
Yeah. I think we all can. I think we all can. Pretty much. But we just gotta focus on the love.
Yep.
Like you said.
And and that's why the main point of it is like, the greatest high in life is love, because everybody goes, like, faith leads to love. Loyalty leads to love. It all comes from the Bible. And that's why I legitimately said half of me is all of you. Like, I took that song and went pretty much all back to Adam and Eve. That's pretty much what I could say about that. The greatest high in life is love. And that's what people are making a mistake on. You guys diss the greatest high. You guys fuck the greatest high. Fuck these bitches. Fuck these hoes. Well, you are pretty much taking high over the greatest high. I mean, I understand everybody is going to say, oh, I'm not living the best life either, but that's financially. But you know what I still believe? Money is the root of all evil.
Oh, thank God somebody said it. Hallelujah. Yes, I agree with that.
Money is the root of all evil. So I'm going to say this, alright?
I've been saying that for years. Money, it ruins relationships, it ruins problems with your family, just anything. It's just like, it is the worst thing on earth that was ever invented. I'm sorry, but it is.
It's money,
it's evil.
exactly.
It's money.
And see,
makes people
now,
greedy.
when we were just talking about what's my main down, what's your main down? Financial.
Yes.
That's my main down, financial. What do you need to be financially stable?
Money. That I hate to. Yeah. That's. I hate to say it, but it is. It's true.
And this is why
it sucks,
a lot of my family, like, I used to get into my parents sometimes about, I mean, I understand a lot of people work hard for what they got, but this is exactly why listen, this is exactly why us country people say, send it. Alright? Send that shit. Because, yeah, country people, I believe we all work hard, actually, for what we got. But we all, I mean, some of us are just like, we're filled with greed, like, oh, this is mine, I worked so hard for it. I mean, it's so treasure to me. Fuck that shit. I spent so much money on all my trucks, I sent them. I had a Honda Del Sol, I mean, sometimes ran like shit, sometimes they ran good. Sent it. I don't give a fuck about that shit. It was the joy that comes out of it. And that's why more people should be listening to country, because it's more about love. Not, fuck these hoes, fuck these bitches, all I want is evil money. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want money, you are pretty much telling this world you want greed. And it's pretty annoying how people sit there and say, oh, there's so much of a divide and race, blah, blah, blah. Alright. It wouldn't be so bad like that if you followed your whole path on evil. Root means the core of evil. A root is like the core, alright? So if all you chase is money and you think money, if you want money to revolve, your whole life revolves around money, then your whole life's going to revolve the wrong path of being just something that
you're gonna be
the
empty.
good is not going to like.
You're going to be empty and alone. And that's just, you think money solves all your problems? It doesn't.
Exactly. And there's a lot of songs that talk about that. And
it does not.
I love rap music because, I mean, I do.
I like rap music too.
I love all music. I mean, it's just that the talk about dissing women and then talking about, oh, money is more important. You know, money comes and goes, but the time can't be replaced.
Exactly.
And that's another thing. I didn't get to keep on Facebook, but I posted. Okay, and most people will say, well, I'm a small artist, right? First thing I mentioned today was I got 40 kids in a wedding. Alright? Eminem also did it. He has a kid. I think he actually has 4 kids because he adopted them. He might even have more. Right? Who knows? He got fame off of them. But you know what's funny? He actually took care of them while talking about them. He didn't go on shows, say, fuck you kids, I'm pounding you off, and then I'm going to go party and completely forget about you. There's some people I know that do that, and
there's quite a few.
And the reason why I say this is because I have sisters. I'm just going to say sisters. I'm not even going to state names, but I got sisters that had kids with people that are just deadbeats. And that's exactly, if you want to hear where I mentioned that is in my life song that I did with my nephew, which is one of my sister's kids. He pretty much legitimately said the dads are deadbeats. And why I say that is because they can sit there and talk about, oh, I got new nuggets, I'm fresh, I got a chain, I got la-da-da. What the fuck did you do for your kid?
Yeah.
What the fuck did you do for your kid? Nothing. No, nothing. All you're doing is you're paying your $80 child support, but yeah, you can get a fucking you can spend $80 on a little tatted diamond, and nope, that's not enough for you. You gotta make sure it's all about you. So my question is that your kid, or did you have a kid to raise your ass?
I agree with that. I have a lot of family members too that have a bunch of kids with people that are deadbeats and don't want to be parents. So I get that. That's why one of the reasons why I waited so long. Sorry.
And I give a big shout out to all those. I definitely give a big shout out to all those moms out there that's doing it on their own. I see my sister Holly. There's so many people that say she's like bad people. No, it's the fucking people she hangs out around with. Right? I'm a father of 4, and not many people can say this, but it takes a real man to confess and say things like this. But I believe, yes, I'm a good father. I work hard for my kids. But as who I see as a very good person with kids is my sister Holly. Yeah, there's a mistake that she made back then, but that was the people she was around with. I don't give a fuck. I have an older sister that I believe in so heartily. She said, always trust your gut. The situation that happened to my sister, like, my gut feeling, my sister didn't have nothing to do with it. It's not just because she's my sister, it's just because I know it. I was raised. When I was 9 years old, I seen one of my sisters get raped, beat. I'm not going to say many names, but I've seen it. I've seen a lot of stuff. And then I almost seen my older sister almost get raped in her own house. I've seen a lot of stuff in my life.
That's a lot to take in and handle. I feel it. I've been there a few times. All right, what is your greatest achievement so far and why? You probably already answered this one as you were talking, but you can repeat it.
I think my greatest achievement would actually be being able to meet with people that actually I relate to the most, that my music relates to the most, and being able to help actually feel good about myself performing with them people in that crowd. I remember the show at Big Buck BZ. He told me, he goes, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. So I had to write a song because, I mean, there's a lot of songs I did with a lot of features. I mean, that's just how I started. So that's when I originally wrote the background song. And it's crazy because that was just a random mix. I didn't put no plugins. I didn't do a static mix. I just threw that together real quick, went to the show with it, and there's actually people that were bobbing their heads with it. That's the stuff I love. And that's exactly why I say I love doing shows with Big Buck Beezy, because my music fits with his crowd. His music fits with my crowd. And this is exactly why Big Buck Beezy is my special guest for my album release. My whole album release, I'm going to be honest, is inspired by Woodworth, Big Buck Beezy, and the Naughty Northern. And obviously, as a country rap artist, I'm always going to look up to Upchurch.
Awesome. What has been the hardest thing you found out about in your music career?
The hardest thing?
Yeah.
So...
Like, for instance, it's a lot of talk about a lot of it from music artists. Some people have to pay to play, and others. So what's what's the hardest thing about that? Like, what's the hardest thing that you had to go through in your music career that you found out about? Like,
so the biggest thing in the music career, yes, I'm gonna say that. Everybody goes, oh yes, I mean, I get it, you're paying for fun, but there's one thing, I guess, I misinterpreted what my blood father said, that about, it goes back to when he was root of all evil. Like, he explained so many reasons why, and why music leads to this stuff, because, yes, a lot of people, well, everywhere, we have to, openers usually have to pay to play. You know, I'm going to give an honest opinion about this. I mean, I don't know how many times, I don't know if I've ever said it on the live, but I'm just going to say it. I respect the promoters out there, alright? But my question is I want everybody to actually get back on Tootie or me about this.
Yeah.
Why do you make artists pay to play? Alright? Because if you don't want to answer it, you're going to answer this, alright? The reason why I believe you want people to pay to play is to make yourself more money, alright?
Yep.
It's to make yourself more money, and it goes right back to the greed part. Well, that's pretty fucked up. Then you don't support the artist. And the other thing, the shows that I've done, it's kind of shocking. Oh, well, I'm doing shows with people that should have a big following, right? Should have a big following. Why am I going to a bar that has less people in it than my family Christmas party? I mean, I understand my family Christmas party. It's all of my family. But we're talking about good time. Good times. We're going to get lit. We're going to get lit with this big artist. Bullshit. You know, this is why I love country music, because it all goes back to family. And we stick together. Everybody says, in the country, you got your sister, you're fucking your sister, man, that's not how it is, right? I mean, you can say what the fuck you want. You know, the problem is we are all here for each other. And that's why I made the song, Never Riding Solo. Because there's a lot of people in the country that I'll say, and I live in Packer County, and you can hear a lot of farmers say this. Back in the day, farmers helped farmers. And that's what country is about, is farmers and hard-working men taking care of the women.
No matter what, if you guys got along or not, you always were there for each other. Now, I grew up way up north in the woods. Yep. So we had neighbors, even though my grandparents didn't get along with them, or we didn't get along with them, if they needed something, we're jumping in. We're helping them right away. Yeah, right? That's what we did. That's what we grew up with. I mean, I might not grew in the country, grew up in the Northwoods, but still, I feel kind of like in the country part too.
Yep.
You were still in the woods.
Yeah, I was still in the woods. All right. So, what has been? Oh, I already said that one. What is one of your top songs that you love that you did, and why? Was it your favorite, and what is the meaning behind it?
Yeah, hard one, honestly. So what I believe is my top song, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna say Back at Home. And why I say this is because at home, when I talk about that, I'm talking about where you came from. Everybody talking about, oh, I come from here, I come from here, I come from here. No one wants to sit there and talk about, well, I came from my mom and dad, and this is what they did for me. Well, that's what I did with Back at Home. And this is why I said in O'Connell Falls yesterday, this fucking generation is so nitpicky and fucking, I'm not even going to say I mean, it's just like, so ignorant, I'm going to say that, ignorant with their minds, that they don't realize exactly what their parents do for them. They just want to blame their parents for a lot of things. And no offense, I did do that a few times because I got mixed in with them, with that generation a little bit too. But if you listen to Back at Home, I would legitimately say, like, what it's like to have both parents and what they actually do for you. And how it was, like, I legitimately said, eat what's on your plate before you get a treat. And I mean, that goes into all different perspectives, right? I mean, I'm talking about eat your meat before you get a treat. I mean, do your homework before playing the games. Do your needs before your wants. That message right there relates to so many things in life. And that's that main line right there is exactly what I wanted people to hear. Gotta eat what's on your plate before you get a treat, alright? Because what people need to realize is that you should be able to be putting in work before being rewarded for everything. Everybody expects the government to keep giving them money because, oh my god, COVID-19. Fuck the flu. It's not COVID, it's flu. Right? Anybody can rename the thing. Anybody can rename anything. And another thing I gotta bring up now too, since I'm coming up with that. That's how I'm gonna end that question. Another thing I gotta bring up now though is the fact that people not believing in some stories. Like, if you don't, alright, I'm just gonna say this. If you don't believe in the Black Bible, you don't believe in Black Lives Matter. Because the reason behind Black Lives Matter is to stop the slavery. I mean, I don't know fully behind it, but it's pretty much to stop slavery and how they are being treated. Alright? Well, why I'm saying that is because if you don't believe in the Bible, where does Black Lives Matter? Why? How do any of us even know what really happened back in the day? A social studies book. A social studies book.
I say that all the time.
If you can believe in a fucking book that comes from your school, believe in that Bible. If the Bible's fake, fuck that social studies book. And you know another thing is, alright, so when you go to the doctors and say you have cancer, what's one thing that they're going to ask you? Did your parents, did your ancestors ever have?
That's one of the questions. Yes.
Alright. Like another thing when I sit back at home, my pa legitimately taught me how to be a king of my throne. Pretty much raising my family, supporting my family, being there, la. So, I'm going to ask you. I got my hard work ethic from my parents, as they taught me. I mean, I guess they already answered this, honestly. But, if your ancestors are such hard workers, how the fuck are you lazy? I mean, that's the honest question. If our ancestors were so hard workers, most of us are fucking lazy.
It's because it's the generation we live in.
Yeah. I mean,
the way we see the things that we do.
This.
Yeah, it's that.
I think this
technology.
Is just do everything.
Yeah.
And
I see it all the time too. Like, I've been saying that for years.
I fucking hate Joe Biden. Yes, I do. Alright? But I'm gonna say something. The one thing I don't mind about what he's doing specifically is making people realize that life is hard for everyone.
It is.
It's gonna be hard for everyone.
It is.
And he's gonna make it equal for all of us. He's gonna make it hard on all of us. But now the thing is I always believe, oh, it's easy on some other people and blah blah blah. Well, they put in more work, right? And there's one thing I complain about a lot. Like, I mean, a lot of my older sister has a house, but she has a fucking business. She put in so much work to get that business. I decided to give up on my concrete business, and now I want to make a business as a music artist. And I understand I got a lot of work to do because this is a whole new thing for me. Right? I'm not a professional in music. I mean, I admit that. I'm just an underground artist. But I want to become professional and be able to make this a career. But one thing I'm going to say right now is the same thing I do with concrete. If I make this a career and I become big, right? If I ever became big, the first thing, if I got $1 million contract right now, right? I'm probably only going to have about 10, I'm probably going to buy a house, specifically because it's my only dream. I mean, I just want to have a house and have to be, I mean, you don't have to worry about ever becoming homeless or nothing. I mean, that's everybody's biggest worry, is keeping a roof over their head. And
you're telling me that.
So if I had $1 million contract right now, if someone just handed me $1 million because of my music, I'm going to buy myself a house, then I know I'm good. But you know what's funny? I'm going to keep going out there and keep working. I'm also going to keep going out there and doing work for the country. So just because I'm big in all this on music and I get to go do shows, say every night, other night, or every night, I am still going to find time in my day to be with my family and to help other smaller businesses grow. You should always be there for you, and that is exactly how you always become. That's how you be there for everyone, is always help each other out.
That's what the Tootie show does all the time. I'm not here to make money. I'm not even earning anything on my show right now. I love doing what I do. It's music saved my life, and I love getting and supporting everybody and the businesses. So.
See, like, you said I had 10 monthly listeners on Spotify. Well, it's not, I mean, I look at that as I appreciate everybody who listens. Okay, they have like 18 followers, I don't know. But if I had $1 million...
It says 10. When I looked it up, it says 10. That's only on Spotify, though. It's not your YouTube channel or your TikTok.
Oh, I think it's the YouTube that's mine. But anyways, if I had $1 million contract, I'm going to buy that house, the rest of it's being given to me. And not a lot of people will say that. People are like, oh, go get your own self fucking job. No, fuck that shit. Because say if Spotify just gave me $1 million because of everybody playing my music. Okay, yeah, I put in work, I earned it. But, you know, the only thing I want is be able to get that house, keep a roof over my family's head, and not have to worry about that. Otherwise, after that, it's all for the fans. It's all for fans. So, like, I'd be giving all that money back to the people that helped me grow. So, and this is exactly why people say, if you're not going to be there when they're small, don't expect shit from them when they're big.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You could have been there for them and helped them grow. And they would have looked down at you and been like, oh, you are a very big support. You're always there. And I think you deserve something. Here you go. It's nothing different than going to fucking work. Yeah. You're the foundation of a company as an employee.
Yep.
People don't look at I understand the boss gets to sit on his ass. You think he gets to sit on his ass? Let me tell you something. I want you to go do 2 jobs for me right now. Do what would you call it? Do a physical job and do like a
office, like a...
No, just like something to do with your head. Use it, and then do a job that when you actually have to use your head, right? Because I'm just saying, it's pretty funny because I mean nobody has a head that's really screwed on these days. So go try to let's just say this. Go try to run a business and try to be the employee. There you go.
There you go. That's a good way of putting it.
If you believe, oh yeah, they're just sitting on their ass. Fuck you. If you believe that, you're a piece of shit. No, that's just bullshit. No, because them bosses put in so much work to get where they're at, and that's exactly what there's a lot of people out there trying to state.
Okay, that's what people are
I'm not
saying.
gonna get too deep into Trump because yes, Trump did get a lot of shit handed down from his fucking father, but he was still an American supporter. He was trying to make everybody equal. I mean, that's all I gotta say about him. But
That's like
there's people that actually put in work to get up where they were at, and then their employees just treat them like shit. Well, you don't know what they had to do. They already had to do what you do. So don't be just telling your boss, "Oh, why don't you go do my job?" Oh, he already did. He's trying to help make more jobs so you can actually make a living yourself as a smaller time employee for now. And that's why, if you're serious enough, you can grow with that boss, and you can get more connections with the boss. I mean, become a leader. Everybody dies, and a legacy can be carried. All right. So if I died today, I'm gonna be honest. If I were to die today, and say I had a production or a record label, I'm guaranteeing my nephew Levante to be the one taking over. You know why? Because he looks up to me, and he also wants to try to rap himself. That's what I'm saying. He actually tried. He came over one night and he just wrote down freestyle, whatever. That's what I'm saying. Put in the work with them, because it's not saying you just use them. No, it's saying you're always there with them. All right, just like the Fast and Furious franchise. Vin Diesel kept going with those movies because it's what Paul Walker wanted. He wanted 10 movies, so he kept going.
Yep.
It's all about teamwork.
Yeah. All about teamwork.
And it all
Makes
comes
the
down
dream
to
work.
all of us being one big team. If you guys want to hear the war of the real God, all of us join together and actually communicate. That's the holy presence right there. That's the holy presence right there. It's all of us in one. This whole world, not arguing, but coming together.
Yeah.
And getting along.
Yes. That's the whole thing. All right. So, what is the future for you in your music career?
So what is in the future?
Yeah.
Alright, well, what's in, I guess I obviously said I'm making another album. And I'm also doing this specifically because, I originally started doing music based on love and hate. Well, I have a song, and it's actually messed up because, if you look it up, I'm guaranteeing this ain't wrong. I don't know what you actually looked up, but actually my most listened to song is Love and Hate. If you look up,
I can't. My phone is over there.
Love and Hate. Well, on YouTube, I know.
Well, hold on a second.
On YouTube, I know it is, and in iTunes, it has the most Shazam.
Well, I don't do iTunes. I do Spotify for right now. Because iTunes gives me a bunch of problems.
But Love and Hate was made by a producer, by Big Hits Beats. And I love that guy because, I didn't know.
Yeah, tell me more about him. Because he just makes the beats. Shit.
So,
Sorry.
he makes beats for other people too. I never really heard him rap that. I don't really want to communicate with him more, but, I heard his beat.
Yeah, so you got, it says 10 following.
Yep.
And then it says
10
popular.
listeners.
Yeah, 10 monthly listeners.
That's
And
not
then it
following.
said, well, I'm following. But anyway.
So there's 14 subscribers on YouTube.
That's YouTube. This is Spotify. But on Spotify, number 1 is In This Country.
Of course.
2, Get That Buck. 3, Backwoods. 4, Crickets. 5, Good Old Days. Those are the top popular.
Oh. Well, usually it was, I think the top one before all that was before Get That Buck and Good Old Days and Crickets came, it was originally Love and Hate.
Yeah.
Well, Love and Hate, that beat was actually made, and it was crazy about Love and Hate. See, a lot of this music came out after I already done all these shows, so people got to know me. You know what's funny about Love and Hate? I didn't do a show before I wrote that. I released that, and I got 250 listens by the next morning. 250 people viewed that by the next morning. Like, I don't know what the views on it now. And I've never promoted that song. I never shared it on Facebook. Not at all. But I think I should, because now I see what you were saying about yesterday when I asked you. See, I'm not a professional, but now I see something. When I asked you what songs you think I should perform, you said Love and Hate, Never Riding Solo. You were, and I really looked it up, you were talking about some of my most popular songs. Yeah, I mean, it's some of my best stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
Love and Hate, I think I'm going to definitely be doing one, because, like, it's what made me. If you look at my mix, I have and you say I have 2 albums. I actually have a mixtape and 2 albums.
Yeah, the
mixtape
mixtape is probably the ones that says 25 singles. That's probably what the 25 singles is all about.
Yeah, specifically because it's part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because you got Mayday, which is technically Montana's song, but I just put it on my mixtape. That's why it's on my mixtape, because most of those are actually his songs. But I was just trying to help him get on too. And he's definitely in the works of music too. But he has more kids than I do.
Okay, so what made you? How did you find? What was his something beat maker for your beats?
Big Hit Beats.
Yeah.
So Big Hit's Beats, I actually found him on. Well, originally when I first started, I was going to make my own beats. Like, I wanted to learn too. Well, so I found this page called Beat Producer. There was like a beat producer webpage on Facebook. Well, he started playing this beat. I seen him. He was like showing how he made it on Facebook Live or something, and then it was called Rose. And I'm gonna be honest, the first thing I thought of was like the Titanic Rose. I mean, it's a lie. So it came down to love because of what I felt while I listened to that.
Right.
And then I remember the day that I wrote that song, and I'll be honest, it took me 2 hours to write it, an hour and a half to record it. And before I wrote that, I was talking to John, because there was a time when me and my wife were fighting too, and la. And it's messed up because he said that, write about it. Just write about it, because that's when the best stuff's going to come out, is when you're down and when you're using your head a lot. And there it goes again. There it goes, and why? There you go again. Head. When you use your head a lot, when you use your head, you're doing more work than you are if you're just doing something with your hands. It takes a lot more, and you get a lot more out of it when you use your head than just doing physical labor. And that's what I got out of it. Like, I decided to write it, and it became a song that was most listened to without even letting anybody know I did it. And I performed it like twice so far in my whole career.
Okay.
But now that I see that I should be starting to do a lot more of the stuff that people like, I think that's what I'm going to start doing. Like, it's just, like I said, I'm still an underground artist, and I think that's what I'm going to start doing. I mean, I understand, I made songs with my wife. I mean, I'm just trying to help people understand where all my music comes from. I mean, I know she likes to do stuff with me, so I just try to let her sing with me too. But Big Buck BC also said that he wants to hear from me, because I'm the artist. I mean, I'm the one that's already trying to do all the work. So obviously I need to start focusing on doing the work and allowing her to be my manager, just like Beezy does. Like, legitly, his manager is his wife. And I love that, because like there's no better way I think there is to do that, because like, and I like that, because like, he said make this merch. Well, I ordered a bunch of merch, and we're going to be having merch at the next show. That's another thing I want to say. I don't know fully on designs, but my wife's going to be one that's making all that. I got a new press, hat press, and that's actually, this hat is exactly what they're going to be printed on. It's going to be JV. And why I say JV, it goes right back to my main inspirator of life, NF. He has 2 letters in his name. That's my main inspirator. Is NF.
So are you going to change your whole name to JV, or just Jvicous?
So JV, it's just going on a hat, because I also, that's an unreleased song that I never finished. Called Put the City On, that I'm supposed to do with Montana. And because I live way out an hour away, we never really got a chance to finish it. But I legitimately got a song coming out, eventually we're going to finish it, called Put the City On, which is mainly it's all me and Montana. And I legitimately said on Snapback, and it was supposed to be Stamp JV. And that's why I was me talking with my hat. I mean, it's not really what I'm changing my name to, it's just my initials technically. Because what the J stands for in Jvicous is just because that's my first name. Where I got my name, Jvicous, is pretty funny. It's specific. I actually got that.
See, there's your funny story. There's your funny story.
It's pretty. Okay, well, it is. Because, like, I never really did a show with them, but, like, I remember working with one of the main people of Wicked Wisdom. Right at Services, I think it's Services Plus. Yeah, Services Plus. We were just sitting working on the line, and, like, when we were talking about my music, and then he was talking about possibly bringing me going with him, because I wanted to get connected back with Bloody Ruckus, because I didn't know where Ruckus went for a while, because I mean, took off from Void, I thought, but he didn't. And he thought of a name for Jvicous for me. I always thought my name, I made my name originally be Crazy Joker. And that's exactly why, if you want to hear about that, you can listen to Mastermind. CJ Joker Vicious Things. That's exactly the things that went through my mind. CJ Joker Vicious Things. It came back, CJ, that's my original one. Joker, Crazy Joker. Vicious. It's vicious, so I was like, no, fuck this. Jvicous. And then I remember when I started rapping again, when I made the song Divided, and that's the messed up part. What got me back into rap nowadays, because I only did 8 songs back in 2012, and I gave up for like a good 5 years. Came back, well, I gave up like 7 years. I didn't start doing it until 2021. I legitimately wrote the song Divided about George Floyd. Well, the funny part about that is that beat was made by Bendo 46. NF type beat. NF type beat.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, and then I ended up getting interacted with Montana because I worked with him at the time, and he reminded me like Jvicous, la da da. I was like, yeah, that was actually something that my name was, whatever. He reminded me, like, it almost seemed like he already knew. So, can't find, I'm just gonna name myself Jvicous. My original name is Joshua, last name Arkan. And then my original artist name was Crazy Joker. I also had tried to name myself Superman at one time. I don't know why all this was coming from, but Jvicous is the one that stuck. And why is specifically because the first person I was interacting with was Woodworth and Montana. The first person I actually did a feature with was Montana. By the way, it actually was Woodworth, which was Lenning. I mean, that's actually one of my very popular songs too. I mean, that's actually a great hit. And we actually did that right in the studio of the producer that originally brought me to rap career, period, Brad Boyd. And I really haven't heard from him, which kind of a sad thing, because, I mean, we were waiting for our finished product, but we just decided to release it because 2-3 months later, we didn't hear from him. I was like, fuck it, we're just going to go through it, see what we can put onto it, and release it. Well, that was actually recorded down in Brad Boyd's basement. And I haven't heard from him, and it's kind of sad because he did have like a cancer in his head. So we don't know what actually happened to him. Yeah.
Cancer is a terrible disease.
Yeah. I mean, if there's one person I know that can definitely go home with, probably Ruckus. So.
Is that how you met Woodworth then?
What?
Through him?
No, Woodworth I actually met my wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did you meet him?
I grew up with them.
Oh. Nice. Pretty cool. Alright. So this one is going to be kind of like talking about what's coming up. Any big show events happening in this year that you know of? Yes, you got one major one coming up.
Yeah, I got one. That was the next question. I thought it was on one. My
No.
anyway, I guess one of my biggest shows coming out was my album release. Originally, I was just gonna do all my songs that's on the album, but I'm actually not just gonna. I'm not even gonna do all those songs because I got advice from someone that said, "Don't bring it all to them. Just give them sneak peeks." Well, on my album release, I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek of every single album I have actually. So, I just talked to Montana. He's gonna be there to perform 3 songs with me, hopefully this time too. I'm really praying for that because some of my best stuff is with Montana. We're talking my song Reckless, we're talking his song One Life, his, well, What They Saying. Honestly, that's actually technically all 3 of our songs. And then, yeah, I look at myself as a pretty good rapper, no offense, them two both killed it over me. Like, definitely did. Like, Woody, see, if you listen to the song, end of that song, that's Woodworth. And you listen to that and you tell me, you tell him the same thing, that I bet you're going to tell him the same thing I believe. He should have never quit doing it. Because he's really good at music too.
He is really good at music. But I also believe that you're going to get there in music too. You just need to keep working at it.
Yeah. And then, that's another thing. I got a surprise for you guys. So, I'm actually making a song. Since this show is mainly for local artists, me and Snapback Nate's going to be actually making a song called Wisco that we're going to be finishing up before the show. I know I mentioned that on a group chat of fellow performers, but we're probably going to be opening up with that song.
Awesome.
And also, another one, since last night I messed up, In This Country Road Before, and specifically because I look at that as almost like a national anthem for my music. Because it's about America, and that's where I come from and everything. So, I'm going to also perform that in the opening of that show.
Are you want to know what the date is?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So they don't run.
I know what it is, and I know where it is too.
Alright, well, I'm not 100%, like, Tootie's actually the one that got me into, honestly, because it got me the info to get into that and get the menu loaded up. Most I know it's on February 11th in Appleton, Wisconsin at OB Brauhaus. I don't know the full address.
It's in Appleton, downtown Wisconsin. That's all I know. I don't know the address either. 523
College Ave.
Yes. I know. I remember the number.
I don't remember the numbers. See, I'm a concrete man. Like, all I remember is numbers.
I tried to. I had to think about it. Like, I go there every weekend. I'm always freaking there. I try to. And I'm like, I should know the address by now. But you're welcome.
Yep.
You're welcome anytime to help you out. So that's awesome. So yeah, his next show is February 11th at OB Brauhaus in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Also, I'm actually going to be talking to April more about possibly going to the open mic night on Webster next Saturday. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm actually going to open mic night just to help line myself up more for that album release. So, I mean, I got a lot of stuff. And everyone that's coming, I think everybody should definitely come out to the album release because the last song being performed is definitely an encore for the headliner and special guest. Like, it's coming from both of us. So, I'll mention more about, well, I'll actually mention it now. It's a lot about pretty much hunters out in the country and us living off the land. Like, going out, getting our food, being the family. That's how we live off the land. And that's why the song is called Homegrown. And that's another thing. Get That Buck, Homegrown. Get That Buck is actually just originally what I was going to call it, but then Hector gave me the file called Home, and then named it Homegrown. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it as that. That's going to be a song name, but Get That Buck was kind of what I said. So when I released it on a thing, some people might know it as Get That Buck because I did do like a little demo on SoundCloud for it, and I will Get That Buck. But Homegrown is actually a song name of it. It's a big buck reason.
Awesome. So is there any specific song you want to go more in depth with and talk about? You talked about in this country a little bit, but like.
Well, in this country, I'll actually mention why. So I originally wrote in this country for my grandfather that passed away, and he was in the army, and he fought in a war. I'm not going to say what war. I mean, a conflict, and that's why I did it with Woody. I'm not going to speak too much on his situation, but it's definitely, there's a big relation between it. Family, pretty much, that was in the army and are gone. No, have passed on. So that's exactly religiously why I say, like, everybody believes it's the land of free, and the governments and the army is there for us to protect us, but nobody wants to stand. That's why I say stand for the flag, because like, if you want to kneel for the flag, fuck off his land, because if it wasn't for them people that's out there carrying that flag on them battlefields, man, you wouldn't have a house to live in. You wouldn't have a bar. You wouldn't have those drugs. You'd be a dead motherfucker 6 feet under because a bomb exploded. A nuclear bomb exploded and you fucking over your head. Alright? Them army men out there and busting their ass and supporting, protecting us.
I think that's
and that's why I said, if this is a land of the free, then how come it was their lives it cost? How come it is their lives that it cost? That ain't free. And people are misinterpreting it. Like, we are free because of them. So that pretty much comes down to, it ain't the land of the free. It's the land of the free at the cost, free for us at the cost of their lives.
Yeah, I get it, but I think I get it too, because my dad was in the army, and I was actually born on a U.S. Army base in Germany, overseas. So I grew up being an Army brat, so I get it. I know all about it. It's tough. And that's probably why I relate to it more.
Yeah.
That's probably why. And my grandparents, like you said, my grandparents were, and my grandpa was in the Navy, and my other grandpa was in the Army, and it's all a family thing. We all were a part of it, so. A lot of artists wear lots of hats. So what else do you do? That's the next question. I don't even have to read it. I already had it in my head.
A lot of people wear it.
A lot of artists wear a bunch of hats. So what else do you do?
Like, what else do I wear?
No, it means like, what else do you do? Like, okay, like, I have my Tootie show hat, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my skies. I wear a bunch of hats. Like, a lot of artists put hats on, but to be who they are. Mm-hmm. If you don't, what else do you do in life besides, what you do? Is what it's saying.
I mean, well, when I go on shows at is usually in jeans and my vest.
No, not what you.
Well, dude, that's what you. I don't know.
No. Okay, I'll explain it again. So I put my Tootie show hat on, right?
Yeah.
It makes me like, oh, I'm Tootie. This makes me me. But when I have it off, what else do I do? Like, what else besides?
Well, then,
a lot of art. Okay, so a lot of artists wear the caps, and they're always wearing hats when they perform or they're doing something. But when they have their caps off or their hats off, there's someone else. They do other things than what.
Oh fuck! I'm just someone that I guess tries to live it up the most I can. Like, I went out there. I posted a video about me going out on my 4-wheeler. I used to work on cars a lot with my little cousin. He's in jail for a little bit. I actually thought about doing a song mentioning more about the stuff me and my cousin did. I'm probably gonna make.
So basically, the question is, what do you do other than being a husband and work, and what else do you guys and what do you enjoy without having the cap on? So take your cap off, and instead of being in doing your music or being what else do you do?
That's what I said. I like to ride my 4-wheeler.
All right.
And my cousin.
I think I must have missed that because I'm not here. I heard something else. Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's all I have for right now. That's it.
Oh, what the heck did you hear?
I don't know, but I do have an ear infection, so it's... I don't know. I'm not going to repeat it. Is there anything else you want to add? That I might have forgot or did something wrong?
Yeah, I don't know what I mean, the reading, the question. They're kind of complicated.
Yeah, I made mistakes today. That's okay. Nobody's perfect.
No.
We're all human.
I don't know. Hope to see everybody at our show.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
hope
well,
to see everyone at his show. Yes,
I
absolutely.
want to say that I hope to see everybody at my show on the 11th. Also, just keep on living it up out there. Keep on going. I know I talk a lot about stupid stuff too, but that's just who I am, I guess. I think I'm going to start making more music about this stuff and just to help me get through a lot more stuff. Also.
That's one number thing about music. It helps you get through the hard times and that's what I think a lot of independent music write on. A lot of their lyrics come from the stuff they're going through.
Yep.
It's amazing sometimes. That's just like how you said Woodworth told you to write it down because it's in your head. Well, write it down. Make a song. Write it down. And it comes a song. Just like some of my stuff that I have in my head, I wrote songs about too. So, I mean, I wrote it down. It's there.
Yeah. Alright.
Thank you guys for joining us on the Tootie Show. We hope to see you again soon. Have a good day. And end it.
And